After weeks of rumors, Vergil Ortiz has finally announced that his fight with Mean Machine is official for August 14th in Frisco, Texas. Now, while a source of mine close to the Mean Machine camp had told me that the fight was signed on their end about 2 months ago, they were basically still figuring out the venue and the date, and it is finally now official as Vergil Ortiz took to Instagram to post the graphic of the fight and claiming that he was ready to go. A lot of us started speculating that his next fight would be Mean Machine because when, after his victory over Maurice Hooker, he called out Crawford, who was sitting ringside. And though he claimed that he might not be ready, he still wanted Crawford. I believe a lot of people, including Crawford, said, fight Mean Machine first and then maybe you can have me. As we know, Virgil holds some sort of small WBA belt, and he's also way up high in the rankings for the WBO. I believe he's just behind Sean Porter as a mandatory for Crawford. Now, while Virgil Ortiz has been gradually stepping up in competition and taking some really good names, Mean Machine is kind of a more intriguing opponent than, let's say, Hooker, not only because Hooker was coming up in weight at his first fight at welterweight, but because Hooker was not a known hard hitter of, even at 140. Mean Machine, however, does have a reputation for hitting hard, for having poppy on his punches, and whether people like to admit it or not, he dropped Crawford. It was a flash knockdown. Crawford wasn't hurt. Obviously, he came back to win by stoppage, but that was a knockdown. Don't at me. And like I mentioned, though Vergil Ortiz has been gradually getting better and better opposition as his career develops, he has never really faced anybody who also has a reputation for being a hard hitter like himself, right? And a lot of people were actually criticizing how much he got tagged in his fight against Maurice Hooker, especially in the fourth round, and feel like somebody with better power that landed those punches could actually hurt Vergil Ortiz, in a fight. I personally feel that Virgil took the liberty to let Hooker kind of come at him like that in the fourth round because he didn't already respect his power and he doesn't necessarily respect anybody's power that he's faced, right? But I'm intrigued to see how he's going to respond to Mean Machine's punches. And also, he's kind of there trying to pressure you. And I'm really excited to see how Virgil's going to respond to this. Unfortunately for Vergil Ortiz, his August 14th date also conflicts Josh Franco's trilogy against Maloney, and which means Robert Garcia is probably going to be with his champion fighter in Tulsa, Oklahoma on ESPN, and Virgil's dad, his co-trainer Hector Beltran and Pita might be actually in his corner in Frisco, Texas. Or, they might, it might be Pita and Robert with Josh Franco in Tulsa, Oklahoma against Maloney, and then maybe Vergil Ortiz Sr. and Hector Beltran with Virgil in Texas. So nothing's been confirmed yet, and I'm excited to ask Virgil for an interview so that hopefully he lets us know all those details. Virgil's record stands at 17-0, and of course, all 17 victories coming by way of knockout, while Mean Machine has 22 fights with 18 knockouts, and his only defeat comes at the hands of, WBO welterweight champion Bud Crawford, which, there's no shame in losing to him. Once again, this is an intriguing fight because both fighters pack a punch and both fighters are just as hungry to keep making their way up in the rankings of the welterweight division. Should Vergil Ortiz rise victorious against Mean Machine, I'm pretty sure he'll put more pressure into Bud Crawford, but also the entire division to maybe give him a chance at maybe another minor title or finally getting, a fight for, just a mandatory spot. Another fight a lot of fans want to see specifically with Ortiz is against Boots Ennis, who is also an up and comer in the welterweight division who packs a mad punch as well. Just like Ortiz, he did tremendous against Sergey Lipinets not too long ago as well on PBC, and that fight would also be amazing to make. Though Virgil told me the last time I interviewed him in March that he would rather both him and Ennis fight the guys that are currently, at the top, and then meet at the top for a huge mega fight. Now, you let me know what you think of this fight. Are you excited to see Vergil Ortiz come back, especially against someone who's also a hard hitter and his only losses to a world champion? Are you excited to see if maybe he can take some more punches? How do you see this fight? Do you feel like he's a heavy favorite? Or do you feel like he might, run into trouble here and there, and we'll finally see him adapt better to a an actual power puncher as well? Should he rise victorious? Would you rather see him against Crawford, maybe Porter, maybe someone on PBC? He's mentioned Keith Thurman's name before as well. Or would you rather him fight Ennis now, so whoever wins kind of starts climbing their way up to the top? Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna try to get interview with both guys and see how that goes. I'm gonna message them and hope for the best. So I'll talk to you guys later, and hopefully we get to see who else is gonna be in the August 14th card from Texas. And maybe, fuck it, maybe I'll go to Texas. I'll see you guys soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share with your friends.